Okay, today we're doing question 2 of solid geometry. This is for the past paper, June past paper 2022. So it's past paper 1. So they basically tell us what they've given. So that's this. Here's exactly what they've given. They've given nothing on your guys' page as like a starting point. So that means that you're going to have to use good preparation to fit everything on your page. They say they've given you an auxiliary view and both solids are cut by cutting plane DD, which is over here. Okay, instructions, draw scale 1 to 1, so that means as the measurements are, you're going to keep it that way. The following views of both solids, the given front view, a sectional top view, the left view, a true shape of the cut surface on the truncated prism. Planning is essential, show all hidden detail and show all construction. Okay, so one thing to remember is that your paper 1 is always first orthographic projection. So that means you'll have your front, top, left, 45 degrees, right, and 45 degrees. And because we are drawing the left view, we are going to be working with this section of the drawing over here. Okay, so we're going to start by drawing in the front view. So basically you're going to have to do sort of some good planning. So let's leave like a bit of space at the top of the page like that, just for like a starting point, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start by drawing in the square here, because this prism is going to rest on that square. So let's leave space for our auxiliary view as well. So let's start we'll start sort of far back. So I'm going to start about here, sort of. Okay. So I might not finish this drawing in one video, so there might be 2 videos, but we'll obviously see. It depends on time. So now, because this square is at a 45-degree angle from your point, going to take your 45-degree set square, and you are just going to draw 45-degree lines up like that. Now remember, because your front view is not being sectioned, you can make everything solid. So that is what we'll do. So now that I've given you the starting point, I'm just going to finish it. Your side lengths are going to be 42, so I'm going to do this to try and save time. So you're basically just going to measure 42 on each side. This will also be 45 degrees and 45 degrees. And then when you've done that, draw a line down and a line across to get your middle point. So I'm going to do that quickly and then we'll continue. Okay, and it will look just like this. Now we want to get in our prism. So obviously we don't know what the height of it will be yet, but we are going to have to start anyways by getting a sort of idea of what it could be. So let's just get started. You're going to start by getting your 60-degree line. So it's obviously going to touch your corner point over here of your square, and you're just going to draw a line down like that. We obviously don't know what the length will be, and we obviously don't know where the middle point is for this drawing yet. So what we kind of have to do is I'm going to draw a half view of this hexagon over here, and then I'm going to put it in here as soon as I can. Okay, so because the length of the side of the hexagon is 32, you're going to just grab a measurement of 32. Okay, just like that. You're going to stick it at the top of your page. Okay. Okay, and then from there, we're going to basically stick our hexagon in. So I'm just going to get the points to get our half hexagon, and then we'll get our measurements and we'll continue. Okay, and it will look like this. So if you have a look, you'll see that the length of this is the length of the middle part of this hexagon over here. So that means that we can take the length of this over here to get our length, which will basically be 32, 32 if you look at the way we've done our square. So we're going to go 32, so that will be our halfway points over there. And then we're going to go 32 at the top over there. Now, because this is 60 degrees, we want to just check our measurements and see which one will be the next one. So let's see. Okay, so that's not straight. Wait, let's straighten it out first. You can just check on your drawing board if you're doing this paper. Okay, so it's not 60 degrees, and it's definitely not going to be 30 degrees because that is obviously the length of that over there, but it will be, your middle line will be 30 degrees because it's obviously just under the square where we have our middle point. So we're going to take our middle point, which is over here, and we're going to draw a line of 30 degrees going up like that. And then because the length of this pyramid is 72, we are going to measure 72 on the line. So there's our 72, and basically from that we can draw in like the outline of our prism. So I'm going to do that quickly, and then we're going to quickly put in our hexagon in the side view because we will need it for our drawing despite it being over here. Okay, so let's just do that so long. Okay, so there's two ways you can finish this pyramid. You can either bring up these lines here and then obviously measure where it would be. So for example, you take this point up, like that. Then you're going to take your compass and measure to that point. Okay, and then you're going to go to your middle point. You'll make a mark here and a mark here as well. Okay, and then when you've got that, you can actually bring those points to the top of the prism as well. I don't actually think we'll need to draw an auxiliary view here, but if I think we might have to, I will draw it in. But for now, I think we'll be okay. So let's just carry on doing that and then we'll continue. Okay, and then you'll have this when you make everything solid. Now we're not obviously done yet because we still have to get our cutting plane as well as this little isosceles equilateral triangle, in the middle here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up a auxiliary view of this triangle so we can put it in the square. So we're just going to start by grabbing a line. Where should we do it? Here somewhere. Okay, let's measure 32 on that line because that's the length of the triangle sides. So we'll grab 1 and we'll grab 32. Now obviously we know with an equilateral triangle that everything has got to be 60 degrees. So we're going to make that 60 degrees. And we are going to make this point 60 degrees. And when we've got that, we want to obviously find the middle point. So that we'll just halve it in the middle. It's not the middle. Okay, we'll halve it in the middle like that, but we still need another point to get to the middle. So let's grab our compass. We know half of 32 is 16. So we're going to grab the length of 16 like that. And we are going to measure on one of the other sides a length of 16. Okay, just like that. And basically once you've done that, you're going to connect this point to that point here and you'll get your middle point. So once you've done that, we'll continue. Okay, and then it will look like this over here. Okay, now once we've done that, we obviously want to stick it on our inside our square where the middle point of the square is. So that means that we will basically get the halfway length of this point and the halfway length of that point over there. So we will take our compass, we'll get that middle point that we've made. So that's our first middle point. Then we'll measure to this point over here, which will be our first middle point. Sorry, that was super blurry, but I'm sure you did see the little bit of it. So now from the middle of the square, you'll get the top of the triangle, and then you'll basically get the bottom of the triangle as well. So once you've got the bottom of the triangle, you'll put it over there. Then we can basically get a length of 16 again, and just keep that on your compass for now because we will need it. So there, a length of 16. So now, because this is the back or the bottom of the triangle, we're going to draw a line up. You're going to take your compass and you're going to put your length of 16 on either side. So 16 and 16 over there. And then you're basically just going to connect triangles. So once you've done that, we'll continue. Okay, then as soon as you've done that, we're going to get our cutting plane in. So here we have line DD. You see that from the bottom of the square, they measure 35 to that point of the cutting plane. And then we're just going to take an angle of 30 degrees to get that point. So if we measure, we're going to start by just getting 35, which will be that point over there. And then from there, we're just going to draw a 30-degree line going right through. So now an important thing to remember is that if you really do struggle with solid geometry, and you can just draw like the top view and a little bit of the front view, you will still get marks for it. So draw as much as you can, and if you're really not sure, then obviously at least you can get a little bit of comfort in knowing that they do mark these drawings separately. So draw as much as you can to get as many marks as possible. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to try and get our point in over here. So they've got a length of 55 and then 45. So we're going to do the same. We're going to measure 10 and then we're just going to measure 45. So let's go straight to 55 like that. And we're going to make a mark at 45 and then obviously at the 0 point. And then once you've done that, you're just going to make lines across for now. So there will be a line across and there will be a line across here as well. Okay, I just want to see something because something's not, I want to like get it to stay that color, like bright for you guys. No, it's not working. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we've got that bottom line and that top line now. So now basically what we have to do is we have to draw in this view here, which is this view over here. Okay, so there we've got 45. We're going to bring down that point length over there of the square, that point there, and this point here. But please remember, everything needs to be like construction lines because we are cutting the top view. So let's just get those points in for now. We won't be able to get the top until we've done the prism. So we've obviously got the bottom line going quite a bit across the page. Now we're just going to bring down the lines of the square for now. So this line we know stops where it's 45. So we're going to line it up, draw a line. Then we're going to do the same on this side and the same on this side as well. Okay. Now what I think is important is the labeling of this as well. So I'm just going to draw like an auxiliary hexagon over here. Okay, and I'm going to label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then T will obviously be in the middle. This is just so that I can help with the labeling of my parts over here. So yeah, it will be 1, 2, and 6. Then it will be 5 and 3. And then it will be 4. Okay, that's just going to help us. And then let's label this as well. So here we'll do the alphabet. So we'll go A, B, C, and D. This is just to help you. You don't have to label if you are comfortable without doing it, but sometimes it does help. So X, Y, Z for the little triangle there. Okay, so now that we've got that down, we want to obviously get down our prism, or pyramid, sorry. And if we take this T point down, we see that it's on this line here, which is very important. Okay, we're going to absolutely need that. So we're going to take our T point and we're going to bring it straight down onto that line. And we're just going to label it point T for now. Okay. Then the next thing we want to do is if we have a look here, we see that these points here are on this plane here, which will be points 4 and point 1. So we're going to bring down point 4, which will also be on this line here. So there we have point 4. And if we bring down point 1, we'll have point 1. Okay, so here things get a little bit trickier because obviously this view is not the same as like if you take your points and then you like arc them. So basically, I don't know if that made sense, but you'll see what we're basically going to do. So basically we need to check what was the length to get to that T point. So we obviously know T would be in the middle of this hexagon, so just keep that in mind. So here we can have a look-see. Let's just bring those points up to our 10 lines. Let's actually do 1. And then take your lines of your hexagon down quite a bit, and we'll see why in just a second. So let's just take those points down for the time being. Okay, just like that. Okay, so let's take from this point 1. We're not going to do point T anymore. We're going to do point 1. We're going to measure 2.1 to see, like if we had measured from here, where would that point have gone? Okay, so now we're going to say, because we know point 1 is one of the edges of the hexagon, so it would be, say, like this point over here, or even this point over here. So we are going to measure, okay, the point that it would have stopped at, or we would have started measuring from. So there we've got a point on our line. Okay, and once you've got that point on your line, you're going to draw a line across, and that's going to help you basically get the rest of your points. Okay, so for the shorter points, obviously, I'll show you in a second. Let's just get this compass point here. Okay, we obviously know we took the measurement from this line here, so now we're going to do this. We're going to bring down points 2 and 6, which will go over here, and points 3 and 5, which will go over here. Okay, just like that. Now we are basically going to take, say, this measurement that we've got from that line. We're going to put it down where we had 3 and 5 and 2 and 6. Okay, so this would be point 3, and this would be point 2. Now obviously we want to get the same length on these bottom sides, and because we're only working with half a hexagon, we're just going to make it easier for ourselves. We are going to grab the point up here at 3. We're going to bring it down onto this point here. So this, or that line there, sorry. So that will become 5, and that will bring across to get point 6. Okay, and when you've done that, you'll basically have the points for your pyramid. So you're going to join these together, and then obviously you connect your pyramid together. So I'm going to do that quickly so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, and then it's going to look like this when it is finished. Now we still obviously have this view to work with. This view here where it ends right at this line of the triangle. So if we have a look where we brought our square line down, that's right here. So our last step would be to bring that line all the way over there, and then we'll be done for now, because then we're going to start sectioning. Okay, we've got that line down now. There you see. Now we want to just bring our triangle lines down. So they do want all hidden detail, which we'll do after we've done sectioning, just because that's what I feel like doing. Okay, there we go. There's our lines. Okay, so the first thing, let's section our pyramid first. I think it makes it easier. So the first part that gets sectioned, you see where the cutting plane is T1. So line T1. So we're going to find line T1, which is over here. And we are going to find that point. So there it is over there. We're going to bring it down onto the T1 line. So it will be here somewhere. Okay, that's our first point. Then we look and we see, okay, the cutting plane goes through T2 and T6. So we're going to find T2 and T6. I forgot to draw them in. That's not very clever of me. So let me just do that quickly. I apologize. Okay, sorry, there's the lines there. So let's do it again. T2 and T6, so we'll bring them down. So there will be a cut on T2 and T6, just like that. And then we're going to go to see, okay, the next point is right here. And it's between lines 2 and 3 and 6 and 5. Okay, because it's on like one of these bottom lines. So 2, 3, 6, 5. So we're going to find 2, 3, which is this line over here, and 6, 5, which is this line over here. And there we have all our points for our pyramid. So once we've done that, I'm just going to connect them so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. Okay, and there will be the cuts over there. So remember, whenever we hatch something, because we will have to hatch the cuts, we'll have to do it in 45 degrees. But we're not going to do it yet. I want us first cut this shape over here. And then we'll obviously look at what you'll see left of the pyramid. Well, let's actually do that now quickly. So you're a man standing at the top here. Quite a happy guy, but you're looking down. You want to see what's happened here. So now this D line, so basically everything at the top here gets cut away. And basically what you're seeing is what's left at the bottom. So you know you'll see this top point here. So that's like that here, as well as this edge piece here. So I'm going to make that solid so that you can see what it ends up looking like. Because that's basically all you'll see. This gets cut away. You're not going to see it. So let me just show you what it will look like. Okay, it will look like that. So that will be still seen. Then obviously you've seen I've done the hidden detail at the back because it is a requirement. And I think I will just hatch it for you now quickly so that you can see what it will end up looking like. And then we'll move on to the shape over here. Okay, and it will end up looking like this. So now let's do this view so long. So first of all, let's just have a look at where these cutting lines will be. So this is a cutting line, so we're going to make that solid. I don't think I can do it now because I'm going to have to press really hard. And then this line here will also be solid. So if we bring it down on the square, so I don't know if you see the first one. Sorry, I'll do it again. That line and that line. And then obviously we will do the triangle as well. Let's just start with these square lines. Obviously, you would still see, what are we looking at? The top view here. Yeah, he's looking from this point here. Let me check something. But I'm going to do those lines for you so long quickly, and then we'll continue to carry on. All right, this is the next day. Apologies, the video cut out, but let's just go through this again. I was having a little bit of doubts, but I was not misleading you guys. So because we're looking at the man from the top over here, we need to know that this part over here is getting cut away. So we're only seeing what is on this part here. So if we take our rulers, we know for a fact we're going to see this part over here. So if we bring our line down, you'll see you don't really see it because of the pyramid. So you're just going to fill in the parts where you will see. Okay, actually before I even do that line, let's just do all the lines down. Okay, then we have a cut over here. All right, so that will become a solid line over here, which I'll do off camera. And then we have a cut over here, which will be a solid line as well. And then this C line will become a dash line because it's going to be the hidden detail. We obviously have a cut over here, and that's it. So I'm going to draw it in for you guys so that you can see what it looks like. So let me do that quickly. And remember, this is hollow, hey? So that means you're not going to hatch it. So let's just do that, and then you'll see what it looks like. Okay, so with all the lines done, it will look like this. Now, because this part and this part over here are getting cut, we're going to hatch those two parts there. So let me just do that quickly, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so it will look like this over here. Now we're going to obviously draw in our left view that they asked for us. So we know it's going to go next to the front view over here. And they do not want it sectioned, so we're just going to draw the left view. So let's start by getting our lines. So we're going to do a line from the edge of the square here up. And because we've got a measurement of 10 over here, we're going to measure 10 across. So, whoopsie daisy. Okay, we're going to just do our 10 measurements over there. And I'm going to draw a line up again. Now, I was being silly, but you know, what can you do? So, let's just get the half of that point because we actually need to find the middle. And we need to find the middle over here as well. And then once we've got those points, we're going to draw like a little crisscross in the middle here. And the reason for it is so that we can get our 45-degree mark without problems. So there we go. You're going to put your ruler in this corner over here. Draw a line down. So this is your 45-degree ruler. There will be our lines. And now, why did I make these so short? Let's just extend these a little bit more. And this one over here. Okay. And then now we're going to basically start drawing. So let's start with this shape over here, since it is going to be the easiest one to do. Because we're not cutting it, we need to take the original points up. So that'll be this point here, which is already there. And our bottom point, which we've already got on our line, well, I do. But if you don't, you need to bring it across. And once you've brought it across, you're going to bring it up. Like that over there. Okay. So let me just think. If you're looking at the left view, your man is standing here now. And he's looking from the side over here. So he will most likely see most of the pyramid before he sees this shape over here. So let's actually start with our pyramid. So we've got those marks, which is fine. But now let's get our pyramid in. So we've got our pyramid mark over here at the end. So take your original pyramid mark, so you'll see, so that one. So that's 3 and 2. If you want to just label it. We've got our middle one, which we can bring across, which will become 4 and 1. And then we've got our last one, which will be 6 and 5. Okay, we'll bring that across, and 4 and 1 will also be T as well. Okay, 5 and 6. Now let's just draw lines going up. And I'm going to label the bottom so that I know which line belongs to which line. Okay, this line T4 and 1 is exactly the same as this bottom line here. So T4, 1. And then 3 and 2 we'll bring up. And once we brought it up like that, we'll just write 3 and 2. Okay, so now all you're going to do is you're going to take your prism. You're going to get point T, which is over here. You're going to find your T lines. Okay, there's your T line over there. You're going to put T's point over there for now. And just make a label. Then you're going to do the same. You're going to go find 1. Line 1 is also here. So we'll put 1 like that. Then we find 2 and 6. So 2 and 6 as per our labeling. So what is that? 1, 2, and then 6. Okay. And then we're going to take 3 and 5. So we're going to get that point. We're going to have 3 and we're going to have 5. So 5 and 3. And then 4 will be right at the bottom. So you don't actually really need to label that. And basically once you've done that, you are going to, let me just have a look, see. So T is what you'll see. So this will be hidden detail. So I'm going to draw it in so that you can see, because you're looking from the side, a lot of this at the back here will be dash lines, because we're still doing our hidden detail. So let me draw that in so that we can continue. Okay, and it will look like this. Now we're pretty much going to do the same thing. So we brought these lines here. Okay, so this was line D. So this would be still line D, so we can bring that up. That's line D as well. Then we have here A and C. Can't really bring those lines across. Well, we can. So let's just see here. Because this will be A and C's line over here. And at the bottom, no. Should be that line at the top. Okay. A and C. And then D is obviously, that was line B. What am I doing? Then D is this line here. So it doesn't really actually make a difference, I don't think. So we just needed that point really. And then we've got this point already. So that's pretty much where it's going to touch. Okay. So because we're getting the sides of it, I'm just trying to figure out how they are asking this. So give me a second. Okay, there's a few extra lines we're going to need to bring across. So we're going to start by the top. So we know this will be D, A, C, and B. So obviously B is right across here. So when we bring it across, we'll have B right over here. Okay, because that's B's line. Then we have AC across already, so we're just going, okay, C will obviously be at the bottom here. C. And then we'll have A, which will be the top over here. Okay, and then we need to bring our D line. So that's this line here, which you've already got. So we're going to just bring that point over here. Okay, D. Then we're going to put that square in. So I'm going to just do that quickly so that you can see what it will look like. Okay, so that's the face of our square, but because everything like stops at this point over here, we're basically just going to bring those lines across all the way to the middle. But when we get to the pyramid, we're going to start doing dash lines. So you're going to bring your line across and you're going to go dash, 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 dash to the middle, just like that. Okay, the same with D. Actually, you don't need to do it with D. And with C, you do need to do it. So we're just going to bring that across. And then let's get our triangle in before we do the rest. So we're going to basically do the same thing. We're going to bring down the points where our triangle is. So that's one triangle point. So that's Y. So we're going to bring that up. And put it on the 45-degree line. And then bring it up to about here. And bring our Y point across. Okay, so Y will be over there. Then we're going to have our XZ line, which will be over here somewhere. So we'll bring that line across and up again, just like that. And then we'll have our X point and our Z point. And then once we've got those points, you can basically just draw up your triangle. So I'm going to do that quickly. Okay, just like that. So it looks a bit close, but that is how it's supposed to be. So now we're going to take this triangle point as well as our B point and make dash lines, because it's also going to be part of the D point, so that we can show all our hidden detail. All right, like that. And then we're going to do the same at this point over here to show that it goes all the way through, all the way through. And we're going to do the same at this point over here. So we're just going to do dash lines all the way across. Okay, just like that. Now, what we're going to do, because I'm just trying to see. I think we're going to do it my old way. You're going to put your set square on your cutting plane like that. You're going to take another set square, right? And you basically line it up at the bottom of the set square here. You're going to bring this one down all the way till you like have a free space about here, and you're going to make a line. So hold this one really tight and move this one, and then as soon as you get this one, you let go of this one, hold this one tight, make your line. So I'm going to do that quickly and then we'll continue. Okay, once you've got that line, we're going to just draw in the true shape of the cut surface of the prism. Okay, so that's really only just this part's true shape. So what you're going to do is where the cutting plane cuts these parts over here, you're going to line your ruler up, and at a perpendicular angle onto your line over here, you're going to basically line your ruler up like this and bring those lines all across onto your lines over here. So you'll like make a line here, then you'll go to the next point, which will be over here, draw a line, go to the next point, draw a line, go to the next point as well, and then draw a line. And then once you've done that, we will continue. Okay, when you've done that, you should have lines like this over here. So now I'm just going to get my compass quickly, and then we are going to show or have a look at how to get our true shape onto these lines. Okay, so you'll notice the first thing that I've done is where this cutting plane is, or where this cut is, I've drawn those lines up to the points where they were cut from. But once you've done that, I want you to start on the line closest to the shape, and you're just basically going to grab that point. You know it goes onto this line here, which you know will be your first line, and so you're going to just make a little mark. Then you're going to basically go to the same point. Please never change the line that you're on, like this line going across here. Never change it. So I'll do the whole thing with you. Okay. So we're going to grab this point over here, and we're going to start at this line here and make a mark. We're going to do the same here. It's exactly the same. So it will be on the next one here. In fact, it will be across all the bottoms because all the bottoms are the same like height, so you can actually just bring that across all of them. Okay, but the most important thing is to know that the top bits are not the same height. So let's just go grab those measurements because it's closest to being the smallest or the biggest one, sorry. So we'll grab that one and we're going to put it over here. Then we're going to grab this one. Oh my goodness. Put it over here. And then we're going to grab this really tiny one. And we're going to stick it over here. And then I'm just going to connect it so that you can see what it will end up looking like. You obviously don't connect it all the way. You just connect it basically how you see it here. So I'm going to do that and then we'll be finished. Okay, so you did obviously need to hatch it. I didn't mention that first. But this is basically what it will look like when it's done. And then your whole drawing will look like this over here. So I hope this helped you. And again, feel free to like let me know what you think I could change, do differently. And I'll see how I can improve this for you. So I hope that this helped you. And thank you for watching.